My name is Chris Yurikian. I'm the co-founder of Sir Coffee Company. We started the company, me and my girlfriend, and when we first met, coffee was a common interest. We both loved it. We both had aspirations to someday own a coffee company, a coffee shop. And fast forward a couple years, we were hanging out in my apartment and randomly said, let's just start this coffee company. So we Googled business plans and coffee company, and we started Surge Coffee Company. We originally wanted it to be a coffee shop, but then the pandemic happened, so we had to shift to a online business model. So we decided we're going to become a coffee roaster and roast our own coffee. And we've been doing that now for 2 years or a year. So I'm Armenian and my girlfriend is Mexican, and we really wanted to bring our cultures into the coffee business, into our branding. The skull is a pay homage to Day of the Dead in Mexican culture. Our logo is the skull hipster dude, and the reason we wanted to do the hipster is because we grew up with coffee in our culture. Armenians have coffee for everything: breakfast, lunch, dinner, dessert. There's always coffee. But we kind of grew up in the age of the Italian espresso drink, Starbucks, specialty coffee, and it was really made popular by hipster culture in Los Angeles, in New York, and that's when it really started to take hold and get to where coffee is now. So our branding and our logo wanted to pay homage to that coffee culture, Armenian and Mexican coffee culture as well. So that's how we got our branding and our logos. Everyone knows starting a business is not easy. So there have been challenges. So much of it we're figuring it out as we go, figuring out where we're going to source our beans from and how we're going to do it sustainably, finding vendors to produce enough of our coffee bags here. So and then during the supply chain issues of the pandemic, it took months for us to get this, finding the right roaster, making sure we don't spend too much money, because anytime you start a business, there's always that temptation of let's throw a lot of money at it and hopefully it works out. But we really didn't want to do that. We wanted it to be nice and slow, steady, make sure one piece of the business works well, and then expand to the next piece, the next piece, the next piece. But it's been difficult. It's really just me and my girlfriend. We have no employees. We do everything ourselves. We roast all the coffee ourselves. We both still have full-time jobs. So we're really doing our best to build Surge and then transition our lives over to doing this full-time. The coffee shop is our ultimate goal. Multiple coffee shops. We're not trying to be Starbucks and open all over the world, but we do want to create experiences within the cities that we grew up in and spend time in. Experience is very, very important to us. Our mission is to cultivate memorable experiences in an environment that welcomes all people. Coffee culture today is fast. It's to go. It's to fuel our super fast, nonstop, hyperspeed life. And we want to kind of move away from that. You run into a coffee shop or to a drive-through, you grab your paper cup and you get out of there as fast as you can. And that's not really what coffee is to us. Coffee to us is an experience. It's to spend time with people, to hang out with people, for it to be a catalyst between ideas. So when you go to a coffee shop, you hang out, maybe you get some work done, you chat with the baristas, you spend some time with people you may not know and meet new people. It's an experience, and we really want to bring that back to the coffee shop. And so when people come into the coffee shop, the first thing they're not thinking is, let me get my to-go cup and run out of there. Let me get a nice experience with the people there and the employees there. Right now, we source our beans from 3 different regions: Guatemala, Brazil, and Ethiopia. We will try different beans from those regions, and the roasting process it's complicated. You can extract so many different aromatics and flavor notes from the exact same bean depending on how you roast it. So when you find a bean that you really like and you're able to extract flavors that you really like, and those can range from chocolate flavors to nutty, floral, citrus. It's really the entire flavor gamut. I always compare it to, people are familiar with, when you try a wine and you sip on it, or even a good beer, and you're trying to see what kind of flavor notes you're getting. That's exactly what it is with coffee too. A lot of drinks these days are sugared down and drowned in milk, so you do lose some of that coffee flavor, but a good coffee will find a way to shine through even all of that. So that's what we try to do. We try to roast coffee beans that are really, really good, and we try everything ourselves. If I drink it and I think to myself, would I buy this again, or would I drink this again, then it goes in the trash, or we find another way to do it. It has to be something that we would love, we would pay money for, we would enjoy, because if we like it, chances are somebody else is going to like it, and if somebody else tells us they don't like it, then we go back to the drawing board. So all of our coffee is roasted to order. So like I said, we have full-time jobs, so a lot of our roasting happens at night or on the weekends. So we'll have an order come in, and we'll have the green beans, and we'll roast the green beans, and our turnaround time is usually 24 to 48 hours, and that's how it is. So we roast it, we package it, and then we ship it out. Roasting takes approximately, depending on the bean, 10 to 15 minutes usually. And then, so that's per order that we do that. If you buy a coffee that's on the shelf at the grocery store or even at a coffee shop, sometimes they'll print the roast date on there and it'll be like weeks and weeks and months. But if you order from us, we really want to make sure you're getting the freshest possible coffee. So our routine with the roasting is really centered around making sure we roast it as fresh as possible. Another big component of the business is branding and marketing. We spend the majority of our time working on the business, creating content we want to have great product photos. We want to have great Instagram posts and reels and stories, because that's where all the eyeballs are, that's where all the attention is, and that's a lot of where our marketing is. That's where we're getting all of our customers. So in 2021, when we launched the business, it was all online based, all roasting based, but the coffee shop is really our goal. So in 2022, we started to do coffee pop-ups and events. We put together a coffee cart, and we purchased, we were doing cold brew and slow drip coffee with some of our house syrups, but we're upgrading, we're putting in the espresso machine. And the pop-ups are really nice because that is the first taste of what the experience in the coffee shop is going to be like. A lot of our pop-ups, we've noticed that people just don't come to our cart, buy the coffee and go. They actually hang out there, and that's what we really want. They talk to us, we chit-chat, we talk about the coffee, catch up on what's going on, and it's a really wholesome experience at the pop-ups, and we really enjoy those, and we're looking to keep elevating that experience until eventually we do get to that coffee shop location. This is our roaster that we use to roast the coffee. So this is a micro roaster. A lot of times you'll see the giant gas roasters. This one is electric. So there's very little emissions, there's no gas, and it roasts about 2 pounds of coffee at a time. And the way it works is we'll run it, we'll preheat the machine, and it hooks up to a laptop so we can track to see the roast profile. And then we'll pour our weighted green beans into here, and the roasting process will start. And has a little light here so we can monitor the roast, make sure nothing crazy is happening to the beans, because if something messes up, then the whole batch is ruined. So we'll monitor the beans, make sure that nothing's burning, all the colors are even and consistently roasting. And then we have this thing here, so you can pull out a couple beans will be in here so you can see what they look like. And like I said, the roasting takes about 10 minutes. And as soon as they're done, you have to cool it super quickly. Otherwise, it'll essentially keep cooking or roasting, and then it'll ruin that profile. So once it's done, it dumps out into the tray, into the bowl here. And there's a fan in here, so it sucks all the heat out and cools the beans as quickly as possible. So yeah, this is our workhorse. Does all the roasting for us, and she's been doing good.